Hey guys, welcome to All About That Gear. I'm your host Sam. So on this channel, we're reviewing what we believe is the very, very best gear on the planet. We're not going to be talking about the best affordable gear, the most practical gear, the gear with the most crazy, insane features like MIDI, 4+ channels, a million knobs. We're about the very best gear, and sometimes that means it might be a pain in the ass. It might be really expensive, it might be really rare, irreplaceable, hard to obtain. It might not have MIDI. It might only have one channel, it might only do one specific sound really, really well, but that's what it's about. I'm actually mostly a classical guitar player, even though I'm also a huge gearhead. I graduated Mannes Conservatory in New York City last semester for my classical guitar degree, but for 10+ years I've been a massive gearhead. I've had over the years 70+ amps from all these companies you must have heard of, Friedman, Wizard, Cameron, Wagner, Soldano, divided by 13. I could go on and on. And that's my passion. Behind the camera are the other two members of my crew. It's going to be Bart and Max. I'm mostly a metal, hard rock type of player, but even so, I'm trying to get the very best gear, even if it's for blues, any genre, I want it all. And they're going to cover the blues, classic rock, folk stuff in our demos. Between all of us, we'll really have it covered. I'm still the host, I'm still going to be the one talking and narrating, but they will be involved in some of the playing demos. And today's demo is going to be all about Fuzz. I gotta be honest, you guys, I hated fuzz pedals for the longest time. I was like, why would I want this? It makes my guitar a sloppy, muddy mess. This is a terrible sound. But what really started my obsession and journey with fuzzes was the Foxx tone machine. When I first played that pedal, it blew me away. It turned my guitar into a fire-breathing dragon, such a roar, a complete growl, velvety texture to the notes. I had to have it. The owner of it, of course, wouldn't sell it. So what I settled on is this pedal right here in this demo today. This is a Danelectro French toast pedal. It's kind of a Foxx tone machine clone. It's made in China, only $40, but it sounds still really good. It knocked many boutique pedals off my board. And then the other pedals we're going to talk about, we have a Reissue Foxx tone machine, which is also great. And then we have the King, the original Foxx tone machine. I was so happy when I finally got this. What an amazing pedal. And so yeah, this is one category. Then we have two here pedals, which will be Russian Big Muff style pedals. We have an original bubble font version of the Russian Big Muff, which is an amazing pedal. It sounds ginormous. Just so much bottom end, such a raw, nasty sounding pedal. A little harsh at times, but that's part of the charm too, The players that made this famous in my mind would be guys like Billy Corgan, Kurt Cobain, a lot of punk grunge guys. Awesome pedal. And then the pedal right next to this is called the Sovtek. It's by a boutique Italian company called Formula B. You may have seen this pedal demoed on Pro Guitar Shop, so you're going to hear it next to the real thing. And they're both great. This one I think is a little bit darker, more refined, a little more saturated, mid-rangey than the original Big Muff. But they're both great in their own ways. And the last pedal we're going to talk about for fuzzes in this video is a Tone Bender Mark II clone. And this is my friend Bart's pedal. I'm actually not as familiar with this. It's a company in the UK called Sola Sound, but it's still a really great pedal if you're looking for the tone bender sound. And in terms of the actual rig, we're going to keep things very simple today. We have an original 1964 Vibroverb amp. I literally just got this amp a few days ago. I've been wanting one for a while. It's a really terrific amp. One of my favorite clean amps of all time. I think a perfect platform for these pedals. As for guitars, when I walked in here, I was going to use Bart's Black Beauty, early 2000s Les Paul Custom. But then I saw this, which is his dad's guitar, and as soon as I saw it, I picked it up, and it plays so amazing that I'm going to use this guitar instead, actually. It's by a guy named Woody Phifer. I honestly really don't know anything about this guitar. I have no idea what are its pickups, what are its specs. Looking at this guy, I think the top looks like it's probably maple. The back looks like it's mahogany, probably mahogany neck, ebony fretboard. I'll confirm all this later. It might even get its own review because it's just such a nice guitar. And so yeah, let's get started. So the first pedals we're going to look at are the two Big Muff style pedals. First, we're going to hear the original and then compare it to the Sovtek. Here's the original. And now let's hear the Sovtek. One more time. both sound really good to me here. They're pretty similar. I think the clone really captures a lot of what makes the original so great. As I said before, I think the original is a little bit more raw, a little bit harsher, a little bit more edgy. The clone, the Soviet tanks, I think a little bit darker, a little smoother, more refined, saturated, but I love both. And now let's go with the Tone Machine. Here's the original Foxx Tone Machine. And so now let's hear the reissue. The Danelectro, the $40 Chinese clone. Let's go to the original one more time. Again, they all sound really good. The original is still my favorite. It's just a little bit more warm, a little more complex, organic sounding. I think the reissue, though, comes very close. It's inherently a little brighter, so I backed the tone down just a little bit. And even the Danelectro, I think it holds its own. It's not as good, but, you know, $40, literally less than a tenth the price of the Tone Machine. What I'm hearing with the Danelectros, it is a little bit more restrained filter sounding. It's a little bit more mid-rangey and boxy, but it's a great pedal in its own right. And now we're going to go to the Tone Bender style pedal. And I will say it is a much quieter pedal. I have everything done and it is a lot quieter, so just keep that in mind. But here's how it sounds. I've never been a big fan of the Tone Bender styles. It's great for what it is as far as Tone Bender style pedals go. I think this is, you know, a great option. I just don't care for the sound. To me, it's a little bit nasally, a little honky. It's just not as ballsy or aggressive as the others. I'm gonna go do this rotation. I'm gonna go with the original Tone Machine now, followed by the original Big Muff, the Tone Bender style pedal, and then go back to the original so you can hear the comparison. I'm gonna play those same exact riffs real quick. Of some things I hear in Brian Mason, that really sort of hockey, like that kind of, that's what I'm hearing. And it's not objectively a bad sound, just I don't care for it. As you could hear with these other pedals, there's really nothing nasally. There's so much more ballsy, full, deeper, aggressive sounding, to me anyway. Alright guys, well that does it for our very first episode of All About That Gear. I hope this has been helpful and you've enjoyed it. If you've made it this far to the end of the video, you must be really into this, a true gearhead like we all are here. Please hit the subscribe button and like if you've enjoyed this video, and leave comments down below. We'd love to hear from you what you thought of the different pedals, and we appreciate constructive criticism too if there's anything, you know, we can improve on, you didn't like, and see you next time.